I also think we need to keep highlighting what is working in the communities, right? And so, again, saying to the communities, hey, what are some of the things that keep your children safe in general? And once they've highlighted that, hey, so is there a possibility of how can we make those more and more and more, and the other ones less and less and less? So I think when we think about any sort of challenging issue, for example, sexual harm, a lot of people kind of think, oh my goodness, to eliminate, so zero, is a big responsibility on any one individual who represents a community, let alone a community. And so it may be better if we say to people that once we are having these conversations, the goal is to bring the best up and up and up, do more of this, and then do less of this, right? Um, and but also touching upon that there is hierarchy in our communities. There is hierarchy in what it means to be a family. And once again, having those conversations around how do you dismantle those hierarchies. As I said, if I have a whole community that is going to be looking after my child when I'm away for working because I do have to send money back home, I would trust that community. And I would not want anything to do with the conversation that is potentially telling me that my community is unsafe for my child. So I think unless, as researchers, as people, we can figure out a way to distance the words from the experience, that's where our end is. Because I think right now the communities are just focusing on day-to-day living. There's just so much happening that thinking about the future, about sexual harm, or that their child might possibly go through this, is too big for them to be thinking about it. So if we can say, we're not saying that this will happen, we're just saying we're talking about this. So dismantling those two, and you have a space. And this is where the safe conversations happen, right? I mean, we're talking about sexual harm. Like, I've had to talk to parents about racism, and they don't want to talk about it because it puts a lot of pressure on their children. I have spoken to them about, hey, do you think that your child may be experiencing all of these things, like, they're not getting the resources in school, etc., because of the color of your skin and your accent, and they don't want to accept it because it means that then the responsibility is too huge, that they'll have to kind of say, change the system. In a way, it's empowering because it's not their child who's the problematic child. It may be what's happening around them. And so I think, the conversations that have happened for years and years in the research and advocacy space, some of the parents just don't have even the breath to do those conversations.